reason. Because everything's kind of overpriced, you know. Now we really starting it. Now we really see the price of what some of the assets are supposed to be. I mean, it's a good time if you can save up some money and buy the dip, or if you got some money on stable, you can wait. Not time to buy now, but you can wait a little bit longer. I think we probably see a little bit more bouncing, but every time Bitcoin takes time to come back, it's like 6 months. So could be a lot of bouncing around for a little while. At least 6 months to even see it come back to where it was. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I was telling a friend like, yeah, the dip we just got into is like we're going to take some months to recover, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, man. I think some altcoins may come back faster. But man, it's a lot of people. There's a lot of people taking money off the market right now and just kind of sideline or waiting or just gonna see how low it's gonna go. Why not, right?
Yeah, it's good for you people who buy the dip, because for us, we already at the bottom. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, before I buy any dip. That's why I always post it on my Twitter now. Exactly what I'm gonna do. Like, man, I'm gonna hold this one. I'm gonna sit this one out for a little bit.
Definitely.
I think it's a good idea. What's up, guys?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Vibing. You sick, man? You sound like you got the cold, man.
No way.
Your voice sounds different. It sounded like you were sick.
How's your project doing?
Oh no, I was leaning down when I was talking.
What's going on? What are you guys up to?
Just hanging out in spaces, chilling,
Yeah.
drinking a little water.
No.
How's your project doing?
Oh man, I got some game changing news.
Okay.
You guys ready for this?
Exciting.
All right, so when we put out the season 1 for Bunny Bandits, we, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to mint them manually by hand to OpenSea. And it was fun and all. It took 2 full weeks to do it for 1,250 of them. And quite exhausting. But it turns out there was some errors in it. So like, I love the images. Like, I love how the thing turned out with how the pictures are. But like, as far as a project for people who are true NFT collectors and care about all the things like the metadata and what chain they're on and all that stuff, it didn't turn out as we expected. I don't think a lot of people like the fact that it was minted as an 1155 contract on OpenSea. Having the female bunnies mixed in with the male bunnies created messed up rarities. And also there were some tiny clerical errors with the spelling that really screwed things up. Just human error. So today I found a fix to it, because it really kind of pissed me off. That like, I don't want to have a half-assed project out there. I want to have something that's 100% awesome, that it competing with the best we can do out here. So I put together a project to fix this, to make it right, essentially. So today I spent most of the day talking on Twitter and other resources with people who bought into the Bunny Bandits project and spent money with us to support our brand, and making things right by giving them a bunch of free NFTs and stuff like that. So what we're going to be doing probably in the next few days here is I have ready to go a 10K project for the Bunny Bandits. We're going to call it season 1.5. That I put. So the first season was on Polygon chain, and that was just a bitch to manage, because it's cool and promising and all that, but like, people there was such a learning curve with it. So we created a 10K project of the bunnies. It's all males for now. We're going to do a female project afterwards. It's 10,000 bunnies. It's on a 721 ERC smart contract that is low gas fees. It is on the Ethereum chain, and we will be doing a completely free mint for it.
Free what? Sorry.
It's going to be a completely free mint. Like all of them are going to be free. The only thing is that it's going to have to be paid for is the gas fee. And I minted a few last night, and the gas fee was like $15 each for each mint.
Oh, that's dope.
That's not bad.
So what are you doing? How are you drawing them down? Like which chain did you say? I missed which chain they were going to get.
It's on Ethereum. We're not going to be using Polygon this time. I deployed the contract using the Ethereum chain. I think it's a more professional way of going about it, and it's just more the standard of what people want from their NFTs to be a top-notch project.
Yeah, for sure. Can you you got a link for it already? Like the new ones that's up?
We I didn't. It's not like 100% out to the. We didn't announce it fully yet. So I'm telling you guys because I talk to you every day. But
okay.
In the next couple of days, I'm going to be announcing it like formally and saying like here's what we're doing. Here's a link.
1.5.
It's ready to go. I'm just working on finishing the forward-facing minting website. Just like the graphic design part of it, I'm finishing that up tonight, hopefully. And then once that's ready, the contract's ready to run, I can just unpause it and it's ready to rock and roll.
Is what was I gonna say? Is the rarity different on these ones, or
the rarities are going to be accurate on this project compared to the other ones? So the other one, we're not deleting the season 1. We're just going to leave it up and let it be what it is, because we mixed in all the sample pieces we produced in there in that project on OpenSea. There's the origins pieces we did on there. So I don't want to be like pull it out and like people would be pissed off. So we're just going to leave that there. I reached out to everybody who did purchase NFTs from us and made sure I explained this whole situation to them and compensated them in NFTs and all that stuff. So it's going to be a separate project from this. So it's going to be, we have the season 1 that's up right now, and this one is going to be season 1.5 that is going to be a separate project, completely free, 10,000 of them.
Yeah, that's going to be super dope right there. I did see Alan got a new one. That one looks cool as shit too.
Well, I did a 10-to-1 giving free ones to people who bought one. So Alan had bought 5, so he got 50 today.
That's amazing right there.
He's got to be happy with that.
I mean, I hope so. Everybody, there was like 5 people who had bought in, and I talked to each of them, and they all seemed to be like super, super. I don't know what the word is. Like they were all cool with everything we're doing.
Understanding.
I would just rather, I know a lot of people in business don't like to admit any kind of errors, but like I feel like by admitting this error and fixing it, it's a better look as far as growing the brand for like season 2, season 3 kind of things.
For sure. That's great stuff right there. That's what it's about though. Like when you can always innovate the project and make it, more usable, especially going down the road, you just do the right things. And that's the beauty of being able to make changes in the NFT section and being able to have a good user base that don't mind it. Right?
Yeah, and I mean there's just so much better about doing it this way than I don't know if I was just being stubborn or naive trying to mint them all by hand. And I mean other people, the few people that I've talked to about this have told me like oh, don't write off the one that you minted by hand. Like, that's still a good project, but like, there's so many flaws in it. There's like, for example, like for arms, like as the properties, there's like one that says arm. So it instead of arms, it threw off the properties, it threw off the rarities, as well as having the females mixed in, because then you don't have like the true rarities mixed in this. So this way, we're doing a separate drop, and it's going to be all males, and then we'll do an all females, and the rarities will be correct, and it won't have any human error because it's run through a smart contract, and we'll be able to do a lot more with it than we were able to do with the other one.
Hey, congratulations, WaferCoin, too, as well. I see you released your iOS app.
Oh, yeah, that's actually been out for about a month now, which is pretty rad. But, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. It was a big step forward, obviously, to show that we're obviously legitimate and pushing the applications forward. But, yeah.
What's happening with that Saitama coin?
So, yeah, I don't really know too much outside of their wallet hasn't been working 100%. So they went from version like 1.0 to 1.11, 1.01, 02, 03. They're on 1.10 now, and people are having like login issues and stuff. So just bugs and little kinks, but obviously their holders punished them a little bit. I don't own any Saitama, so I don't really pay too close attention to it, but I've been obviously watching because the tech side and all that. So in terms of when we'll be trading on there, not sure just yet, because until the app is fully functional for everybody, they're not even going to use pairs testing yet. So there's that. But we know that we will be the first BSC token. We've already talked to Russ and the crew there, so we picked the perfect time to start doing V2.
Well, that's good then. What's everybody think of now that you guys are up here anyways, what do you think of the Bitcoin? Where do you think bottom is, or what are your thoughts?
Man, that's what's hard to say, because as everyone knows, I mean, in 2020, obviously it went down to, what was it, like 2,500 at one point? That was like the lowest point Bitcoin got to in 2020. So I mean, just kind of looking at that, it's like it's not unrealistic to see it maybe down there, depending on if there's some big things happening on a macro level, like worldwide, which obviously supposedly we have tensions on the border with Ukraine and Russia. People are talking about deploying troops there and it being a flashpoint. So, I mean, you're seeing a lot of the miners and people selling off in fear of what's happening in the region due to destabilization. So there's a multitude of things kind of happening that I believe that could drive it further down. But I mean, who knows? I didn't think I would see ETH in the, lower to mid 2000s for a little while. And that, that started to happen. So it's like, whoa. Right.
Yeah, no, I kind of think the same thing, bro. It's just a lot of uncertainty in the market. So people are just trying to de-risk as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if Russia is for real about outlawing, I mean, Russia hasn't really discussed it in the past before on a big scale like they are now. So I think, when Putin makes a decision, usually he'll follow through. So, I mean, if he's saying it's banned, good chances are people are going to get locked up over it.
I just did a news article. Vyman knows this too. Like, we just did the news. And there's actual political people that are saying the bank is basically overstepping their bounds. That there's no way that they can just ban it outright. There's too many valuable sectors that are based off of cryptocurrency and the Telegram founders from Russia. Like, there's a bunch of people that are stepping out saying, no, you can't do this.
Let me just add this in there, though, big one. During times of war, drastic measures are taken by by leaders of countries, right? So it's not unrealistic. Yeah. It's not unrealistic, because even in the United States back in the day, like in the last 100 years, have seized assets of just normal people to fuel a war. Now that even happened here in the United States, where they basically confiscated gold or bought gold off of people for the reserves for like World War II.
Here's a question for you. Do you think, though, and here's my thought behind it, is like, and this is not BigONE, this is Scott Tripp or Crypto Beast 32 speaking, but my thought process behind it is, if it did go to war, is Russia more likely to keep cryptocurrency around because it is a way to bypass certain things that they can't bypass if they're in regular fiat?
Well, then I think you'd start seeing weaponization of the blockchain, right? There's nothing to say that somebody, like, let's say I own 51% of the mining rigs of, Russia, or if I can outright get all of them, right? Now my market share of those mining rigs and that mining process has become more centralized, right? Because now you'd have a government who seized an asset, which would be the rigs, being able to, maybe manipulate or throttle or what have you to, basically cheat people out of their transaction hashes and stuff. There's ways to weaponize it, right? So that's all I'm saying is, there's things that people maybe don't think about when wartime situations come up.
Here's hoping it doesn't get to that, but I'm in the same feeling as you. It's probably going to happen.
I told you, man, they're kind of bored right now. The governments are bored, so they're just like, man, let's just use some of this equipment we got sitting around here. But I mean, anytime there's some kind of financial crisis, I mean, you usually see some form of war. Uh, and I think it kind of started with the pandemic, and we're going to see the markets all take some kind of hit on it, or take some kind of hit because of it. And you can see it all around the board. It's just it's just kind of funny watching it. Me and Scott was doing like a live recording one day, and the market just kind of crashed, right? And you could just see it, like the panic sales start happening. And I think anytime you see Bitcoin starting to retrace like this, it does remind me of like when it went down to like 2,500. I think right now, anytime Bitcoin goes on these highs and touches the top, they have this retrace every so often that takes it down about 80% of retrace, right? So if we're thinking 80% from the top, I mean, we're going to be looking at, I think not as low as 2K. I think we'll probably get to 10 to 15,000, which is actually good, right? Because I keep saying, like, if we're going to look for mass adoption, who's going to have money to pay for Bitcoin at 100K? Because money's value, we're not making more money right now. We're just printing more of it, and nobody's making more. So the value of money is going lower, but our crypto assets keep rising. So I think it's a healthy correction, nonetheless.
There's a lot more people to enter the market too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is the time to tell your friends about crypto.
I bought BNB. It was like down at what, 330 or 320, something like that, just the other day. So I swooped on some, and now it's at like 370, almost 380 again.
Yeah, I think it'll probably, I'm still, to be honest, just, speaking on my personal side, I'm not buying anything yet. I think we got a little bit more downside to come. And I think $300 Bitcoin, I mean BNB, anything that you can get for $300 is great. And I made a joke with Scott. I have a thread on my Twitter page of some of the prices I was looking at. Entertainment. And I told Scott, I was like, I think Solana's going to go down to $60. He's like, what? You think so? And I'm like, yeah, man. And here we are. It's not far away. It might bounce, but we're due for a bounce. I think. When we look at market structure and how the market's flowing, we got to think about, like, if it's due for a drop, it's going to bounce at some point, and then it'll bounce, it'll drop again, and it'll bounce. That's what we'll start paying attention to now. But I think the market trend is definitely in a downward trend, and we just got to pay attention and wait for the other side of it. I'm definitely in no hurry though.
Yeah, keep the sales going.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, anybody that can take advantage and be able to buy, or have stables right now, man, it's a good time where if people that haven't got into crypto yet, hell, this is a good time to introduce them. I mean, they might get to see the glory side, right? I think, traditionally, like Bitcoin takes a long time to recover. I think if we take on more adoption, I don't think we'll see this long bear cycle that we've seen in prior years. I think the bear cycle may be cut down. Because people are saying that if we go through a bear, it'll be a 1 to 3 year bear. And I mean, and I'm closer to saying it might be a 1 year bear, and unless for different sectors, right? I'm just talking Bitcoin in general. It usually takes time to recover. I mean, it's a lot of money that has to go back. So definitely gonna be something interesting to watch. But yeah, if you ever felt like you missed any of your favorites in the last 2 years, this is the time. I mean, Polkadot's under $20, I think. So like, it's a great time. I mean, I bought my Polkadot. Scott knows, like I maxed that. Well, I got to my goal, and I spent, I think it was like $38 for when I got there, but it kind of took my average price to like $23, $24. But I'm just like, now I'll wait for the bottom of the bottom, and I'll just buy some more. Like, it's okay.
Anybody that wants to come up, just request a spot too as well. You're more than welcome to come up. I'm going to be a little bit quiet today while you guys are talking, but I'm still here.
By the way, BigONE, let's see a Red Wave profile, bro.
I'd have to talk to the whole team about that before I went and did it, but I can definitely discuss it with them.
Yeah, for sure, no problem. Vibin, are you on there yet on Red Wave?
No, I haven't got on there yet.
We actually just did our first payout of tokens for people interacting today, which was pretty cool.
What's the Red Wave? What?
You can do redwaif.com.
Oh yeah, redwave.com. There, yeah.
Yeah, if you look in your iOS or in the Google Play Store, you just type in Red Wave, all one word, put together, and it pops up to the top.
Bow.
But yeah, you can start earning wafer.
Literally just sitting there.
Literally, dude, like you don't even have to be a holder to start earning wafer. All you have to do is sign up. You interact, you earn points. Those points give you a corresponding amount of wafer, and then once you reach a certain threshold, you can withdraw those and establish your wallet.
And then, what was the changes you guys made just recently with the project?
Oh man, so many. So we're going V2.
I know you were talking about going V2, but we never got the details because you hadn't officially released them yet.
Yeah, so we went ahead and had a lengthy discussion and obviously did a bunch of research. But in terms of what it's going to look like, right now we have 1 quad total supply, but our burn when we first did it wasn't big enough, wasn't aggressive enough. So the circulating supply isn't going down like we hoped it would. So what we're going to do is technically increase the supply to 2 quad, and we're going to burn 1 quad once we go to launch. And then that wallet will receive a 4% reflection on every transaction moving forward to help deflate the amount of circulating supply. And then as far as the tokenomics go, 10% still, but it's going to be split instead of what it was or what it is now, 5% to liquidity, 5% to holders. We made an adjustment to make sure we can stay around long term and have a budget, because right now we have our moderators and they're doing a lot to help us grow, and they're spending their own capital, and we feel like obviously we should be doing that since we have the means to in terms of mechanisms and things. So we decided to do 4% to liquidity, 4% reflections to holders in proportion to their wallet, and then 2% to a marketing development wallet so we can actually continue to deliver. So those are like the main changes in terms of like tokenomics goes. And then it will have an anti-whale tax essentially. So it'll just limit the percentage that someone can withdraw from the liquidity pool. So that's going to be a big improvement as well, because we did have some issues with that. If you look at our charts, that's part of why you saw us go up, and then we had some bad whales, if you will, just really hammer us. And from a perspective of like a younger token or one that's new, when that stuff happens, obviously we start, people start, oh, is it a rug, or how did this happen? And then it's always having to like clarify and things like that. So we think that this will obviously help with that as well. But yeah, we have tons of features being added to the back end of Red Wave. Our smart wallet has gone into production as well. So it'll be able to do NFT storage, staking capability, all that good stuff built directly in there. And then once we finish V2, which we expect in about a week or two, V2 to be ready to launch completely, meaning adding LP, all that good stuff. And then once that happens, obviously we're going to audit that. We're going to get our apps audited, and then just a bunch of marketing from there.
Smart time to be doing all of that right now too, man. I'm telling you, like, it's like the perfect time, especially while the market's like, just kind of like sitting down and chilling or going down. It's just a good time to be building. Like, as long as you're building and you still got a community with you, man, when you come back out with, fresh marketing and fresh utility, I mean, it gets the community excited again, and then, it creates this explosion, right? So it's definitely a great time to keep building.
Yeah, and our community has been super supportive. Like, when we told them, like, okay, because we were a little nervous to be like, okay, we're changing the reflections and the liquidity, because it can be like, for a holder, like, oh, so you're going to take 1% and you're going to, put it over here. Well, they were very supportive of it because they see that we actually reinvest in the project, right? Like, we have functioning apps, we have the utility working, we're adding utility, we have other apps in development, and the way that the marketing wallet actually works is that comes back in BNB for us, so we don't actually have to sell it. So that's not going to hurt anything at all, which is great.
Yeah, that's super good.
Yep, and then we got peer-to-peer figured out where there's not going to be any tax on it. So if you want to share Wafer or pay someone in Wafer wallet to wallet, you won't have to pay the 10% tax on that. So we solved a lot of minute issues that we didn't know were issues before in the contract in terms of like capabilities to what we needed it to do. So it's been great. I think in terms of long-term perspectives and how this is going to play out for our project, it's going to obviously benefit us greatly because we only have 5,500 holders now, and all we've been doing is reinvesting in the infrastructure, the server space, being able to deliver on all the promises we've been making to people. And so far, I think Scott can, even if you smash 100 for me, that'd be tight. But we've came through on every promise we've made for our community, and we're pretty proud of that in terms of delivery. So we want to keep doing that, and like I said, the new tokenomics will allow us to do so.
Yeah, I know you guys have a pretty loyal community and following, man. I pop into the Telegram every now and then just to kind of like see what's going on because it's in one of my little chat folders that I keep some projects like close to my chat folder. So I definitely like what you guys have been doing, and I always encourage people, like, when something needs to change in a project, make a change, right? If it's going to be better for the community, it's going to be better for the project, we make those changes, and then you go forward. I mean, I think that's the way that we got to see these projects develop and push the development. If there's no change, then you're probably going to get left in time. And we know the crypto space moves very fast. I mean, it's forever evolving, and it just every day there's something new and a change that can make something better.
Right, and the best thing too is like, I know that bridging and being able to go cross platform is a big topic now. We were actually discussing with our dev team, like, okay, how can we cross bridge to Solana and ETH and to these other protocols so we can further establish ourselves as a key player here. And that's something that may come down the pipe a little bit later on down the road after V2 deploys, since we will be able to make those kind of changes in the future with this new contract, which is awesome.
You guys should come back to Andy's chat and do an AMA in there again.
You guys should. It's good exposure.
Who's?
Asia blockchain community. It's with Lala. Have you ever done one there?
I don't think so.
You guys should. It's good exposure.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to see about getting that going.
Well, we can, or Vibin can shoot you a message afterwards and give you the Telegram place where they do it at and stuff. And I don't know, I really feel it's worth it. So I know Vibin does too. We've seen some projects that go in there that definitely have some interesting times after they've had an AMA there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All falls down with your community too, though, right? Like everything does. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, man. It's just great that we have such an amazing community. Like at the end of the day, without them, like we always say, we would be nothing. And
Definitely.
we're just glad that they understand where we're going and understand the vision and
I love
trust us
watching
and
maybe
understand that,
maybe
you know,
even
we're doing
is it
everything
Lala or
in
one
the
of them
interest of the
even look
project,
at
you know?
if you did an AMA there, maybe they would move on to your social media
Definitely.
platform, or
That's
maybe
exciting.
our ICANN, Scott or
Well,
Viben
I
or
mean,
whoever we can
I love
connect stuff
watching.
like that.
Maybe you
I think
might
that's
even
great.
see Lala or one of them even look at if you did an AMA there. Maybe they would
Got the
move on to your
broadcast
social
team
media
doing
platform,
YouTube
or
videos and
maybe
stuff. So
our ICANN, Scott or Viben or whatever. We can look at stuff like that to begin with, right? We got the broadcast team doing YouTube videos and stuff, so that's always fun.
yeah, we could probably even if Wafer came
Yeah,
in and do an
we could
AMA
definitely
there,
have
we
you as
could
a
do a
co-host
YouTube
sometimes.
interview
That's something else
afterwards.
we should start doing, Scott, is with our YouTube
I'm fine with doing that.
videos
We know
is
those
you know,
well
probably
enough
do
though,
like
right?
some interviews for Blockcast.
Yeah, we could probably even, if Wafer came in and do an AMA, we could do a YouTube interview afterwards. I'm fine with doing that. We know them well enough, right? So
That'd be cool. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
Well, maybe
no
I don't know,
problem.
but it's Hero.
Have you guys heard
Heroes
of
or Jewel is the
Jewel
name
or
of
DeFi
it,
Kingdom
but
yet?
we're gonna be doing an AMA here. We're gonna be
I
on
think
one of
I
those
did. Is that the
community
Catalina
websites.
wine
Viben
mixers
knows a little bit
spoof
more about it.
one? Is that the one?
No, well, maybe I don't know, but it's Heroes or Jewel is the name of it. But we're going to be doing an AMA here. We're going to be announcing it soon. It's going to be major exciting. Viben knows a little bit more about it though.
Yeah, it's the gaming protocol. They're built on Harmony One. Excuse me, they're built on Harmony One, but yeah, we're gonna be doing one of our Twitter spaces, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So it's gonna be pretty big. I encourage you guys to come by, learn about DeFi Kingdom, Jewel. I mean, it's a lot of cool things happening on Harmony One ecosystem, and you know, it's been one of those ecosystems that, you know, definitely keep an eye out for. But
And they're
Jewel
talking about
recently
doing
listed
a
on
giveaway
BigONE as
too that
well,
we can
so
announce
we're gonna
once in
bring
a
them
while,
in.
which is exciting as
We're
well.
gonna bring them in and do a little interview and let them tell you guys a little bit more about themselves.
Viben's eating some good
And they're
food.
talking
Cool.
about doing a giveaway too that we can announce in the next little while, which is exciting as well.
Be healthy.
Viben's eating some good food right now, I think.
I mean, I'm eating strawberries.
Being healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I ate dinner already, so I'm just like a little bit still hungry. So just having some strawberries.
Start eating the dip, Viben. What's up?
Oh, no. I told you guys, you know, not financial advice, but it's definitely not time. You know, like I'd rather wait for that knife to go ahead and land in the dirt before I catch it while it's falling. Like I'd rather be secure pulling it out of the dirt than, you know, trying to catch it while it's falling. I'm okay. It's like I'll wait a little bit longer.
It's always like Andy says, don't buy on red, but don't buy in green, buy on red. That's the best.
Oh shit! It's been a lot of red to buy.
Yeah, I know, but right now I think red. That's for sure.
Me,
That's not my. I don't know what I feel, but we'll always watch and see what's happening, right? There is people that are still making money by playing with the markets, right? Doing that, buying future selling, and all that stuff. Like, there's people that are good at what they do. I just wouldn't personally be one of those people.
Could you imagine the guy that shorted Bitcoin just before it fell through the floor? Oh my god.
Some people are like 50
Oh, come on.
times or
Yeah,
100 times.
He's
be
feeling
crazy.
good.
They have
Yeah.
value in it too.
There's people doing it, which blows my mind. Like, damn, that's so speculative. I wouldn't even want to do it.
Just ride that all the way.
Well, and the thing is, some people are like 50 times or 100 times what they have for value in it too, right? Which is crazy. You just ride that all the way to the bottom though. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, if you've seen it going up, it isn't really impacting you at the very end anyways.
Pretty much.
Yeah, me, I'm gonna stay what I got staked up. I got some things. You know, Akala is one of the. It was the first one that won the crowd launch with Polkadot. I think they come out next week or latter part of this week. But I know we're actually going to list them on BigONE as well. But I think that one is going to be pretty good. I don't think, right off the bat, you're definitely with the market conditions, you're going to, I think you'll see people, probably, dump some, but I think it'll do well. Anything you can get your value staked in right now or get some, some stuff tied up in, I think is a smart move. I mean, if you're going to be in the market, why not just have it staked right? I mean, if it's going to go up, it's going to go up. It's going to go down, it's going to go down. But at least you have it in there for a duration of time, and you kind of know where it's going to, be potentially. So if you're going to be in it, staking in there.
How does everybody feel about NFTs and their value holding right now? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
That's okay. He's back again.
Oh, he went down. I'm surprised.
How do you feel about NFTs right now, Wafer?
Who's that?
Oh, he might have left. Wafer. He left. That's okay though. So he's back again. See? How do you feel about NFTs right now, Wafer? Like versus cryptocurrencies and things like that?
Well, I mean, I guess that's where art being one-offs and things of that nature help it maintain its price, because now we're looking at something that in theory can't be replicated, right? You only own the only one. So, I mean, I don't know. I think NFTs really start, brushing the line as like a commodity, in terms of how and why they maintain their value. I mean, the Mona Lisa doesn't just go down just because, the market's down. That's just the way art is. It's I don't know. It's expected, I guess. I don't know. I didn't expect them to dip very much, if any, because it's like I said, holding a priceless painting, if you will. I mean, it's not gonna probably move at the same time.
Only time, and I think me and Ivan kind of, I don't know if we agree on it or not, but the one thing I consider is these big rich whales and stuff that have invested their money into Bored Apes and things like that. Are they going to sit around and watch their value deplete over time as cryptocurrency goes down, or are they going to start pulling them out? And if they do, what is that going to do to NFTs?
Well, I think you also have to look at the crowd that's buying and holding the Bored Ape NFTs, right? Like the market for them. I mean, a lot of them are like investors, right? That's where the whole ape thing is coming into play, right? A lot of those guys went hard on it, and a lot of them are of the, GameStonk and AMC threads. So a lot of these guys, I'm sure, will hold for as long as possible, driving the price even higher,
Yeah, I think some of those communities definitely don't mind holding. I mean, even if you even think about it on the level of the people that we say, like, the famous people who get involved, like for somebody that's famous, what's $250,000 is not much for them. They could go out and buy a Bored Ape and use it as a profile, or sell T-shirts or make some kind of residual off the T-shirt. Or something like that. So yeah, I think the people in that sector, they're not, if they know they can make some, not even if they know they're going to make some value, if there's potential for it to make more value, then it's a smart move for them. It's almost like them buying a painting that sits in their house. Nobody really gets invited to these people's houses, right? So they don't get to see the painting, but they probably know they have it. Well, this is like a little bit more exposure for your digital art. So I think I think NFTs will still hold value well, but I think based on which project it is, and NFTs are definitely more community driven, in my opinion.
You also have to think, like, I've also been told, I'm not entirely sure in terms of if it's like real access or not, but that with that particular NFT, it comes with like a mastermind group, right, of people that are in that circle. So, I mean, then you also have to weigh, like, okay, what's the utility also, right, in terms of some of these NFTs. That's why I think the Bored Ape is kind of one of those ones that won't depreciate. Everyone calls it blue stock, if you will, or blue chip. But I think that's going to be a big factor as well.
Yeah, I think with the NFTs, it's going to be a way for major brands to get involved too, man. You're going to see major brands get involved. I mean, the fashion industry is already big. You're going to see, digital fashion kind of make a name for itself in its NFT space as well. The same way these brands can go out and sell, nostalgic pieces or collaboration pieces. They're going to be able to do this on a digital blockchain, and people will be able to wear it in the metaverse and also be able to maybe obtain a physical item to go along with it. So I think the NFTs are going to kind of open that door for the major brands to come in and put their name on some of these on these NFT projects, and like I said, kind of let people have a digital piece of art, even if it's a shoe or hat or anything like that, clothes.
Well, you saw Nike bought that NFT shoe company, right? So that's like the next evolution is like, all right, well, let's just take our designs and actually put them in the metaverse, because if they're willing to spend however many thousands on an actual shoe, what about the NFT of that shoe?
Well, do you know what was
they can make it change colors too?
Yeah, do you know what was interesting to me is I watched a video. I wanted to copy it, but I couldn't find a way to copy it, but I will find a way. But they took AR, the augmented reality I was talking about, and they made the person wear their NFT. So they had like a big NFT head, and then they had sneakers and stuff, and they could actually switch out their heads and they could do different stuff. And that was the reality that I kind of seen as versus virtual reality, a little bit of mixture of augmented reality and then real reality, like wearing those glasses. You can see people walking around wearing their NFTs and different things, displaying them differently. I think it's going to be really amazing.
Yeah, that's what man, that's another project I was wanting to tell you guys. Like Scott, I know you heard me say something about Hololoop before, but Hololoop is another gaming protocol or the metaverse type of protocol that's built on Harmony One, and they do the AR mixed with VR, and like they're talking about simplifying the meta world access to the metaverse, whether it be through your phone or through Lens. But they have some pretty interesting things that they're building out. I think that's another one that when you go on DeFi Llama, you can see a lot of TVL, you can see a lot of people using it and develop on it. So it's definitely another one I tell people to kind of keep an eye out for.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, no, I'm fully into this AR versus virtual reality, like my headaches and stuff I get. But I found out if you chew gum, that takes away your motion headaches when you're playing the game. That's what I heard. And then, but in the same sense, I'd rather a mixture of augmented reality and games and different things. You'd see people out, like you could be walking down the road. You can imagine this, like you're playing a game where it's like a big game of tag or whatever but you could be using augmented reality guns or whatever, and as soon as you see one of the games that people that's in the game that is a target or something per se, then you take out that target in augmented reality, of course not real life, but you can imagine that.
Yeah, imagine the day that somebody mixes up the AR and
the gun. Yeah.
I are you guys familiar with Z-Wave technology? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Z-Wave technology, it is an existing tech, but essentially it's where you can actually use your mind to do things, right? So the most basic form of that right now is like, you put on like this headband thing, and you can fly a drone using just your thoughts. But essentially, you have to be thinking, right? Generating Z-Waves. So some people are like, oh, I'm doing math, or I'm reciting a poem or a song that I know. So once that starts to move, I think, forward more, if you put the augmented reality and Z-Wave together, then it's becoming an automated process. There's no need for a controller, right?
Oh, there won't be. Yeah, there won't be any need for a controller at all.
Exactly. So Z-Wave is like, it's a I guess you can say under development in terms of how they're gonna push it forward into the future, because Z-Wave is a relatively new way to do things, and it really is your mental capacity that's making the object or thing move via headband and some sort of receiver.
Yeah, that's gonna be wicked. Like the Z Wave and AR combination, that would be pretty sick. But yeah, now that you say, I didn't know it was called Z Wave, but I have heard about people or them using your thoughts to control things, and I think that's gonna be super
It
wicked,
will
man.
happen
Like I think in
eventually.
the future, maybe not in our
Elon Musk
generation
gets
of
his
time, but
way. It
maybe
will happen.
a generation after us, where things in your house on the Internet of Things will be able to tell you what you're thinking about and
It,
talk
it,
to you.
it, it will happen in our generation. If Elon Musk gets his way, it will happen in our generation. There's no question.
Neuralink, right? That's
Yeah,
essentially a part
yeah,
of the functionality of Z Wave, but
yeah.
his version is to hardwire in, right? The versions that you usually see are for like toys, things like that, a more
Well, the
Mm-hmm.
simple
thing I think
version.
about is like if we
So
were
I don't know. I honestly
using
think Z Wave
AR,
and AR,
and we were
the
walking
augmented reality
around
would probably be the route,
visiting
because
people
VR
and
over
seeing
time. I mean,
virtual
how
reality
much
is going
clearer
to
can it
be
get other
meeting
than
people around
lenses
the
over your
world,
face like
and
glasses?
that could definitely be mixed
Well,
in.
and the thing I think
So I
about
think
is like if
augmented
we
reality
were
makes more sense
using
when it
AR
comes to mass
and we were
adoption and
walking
using it
around
around you. Like
visiting with
police
people,
could
that's
use
amazing.
it,
Virtuality is
paramedics
great
could
if you're
use
meeting
it.
people around the
Like
world,
there's
and
literally
that
so
could
many
definitely be
use
mixed
cases
into it.
for it
But I think
that
augmented reality
would
makes more sense
very much
when it
outweigh
comes to mass
virtual reality.
adoption and using it around you. Like police could use it, paramedics could use it. Like there's literally
All
so
the
many
glasses that
use
you wear in your
cases
face,
for
right,
it
are good
that
enough with
it would
augmented reality.
very much outweigh virtual reality, I think.
Yeah, probably be a lot less cumbersome as well. You would need less devices to do it.
Well, the glasses that you wear on your face, right, are good enough with augmented reality.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be one of the major driving points when you think about mass adoption. Like nobody's gonna want to have to add
Like I said,
a
like
headset to their head to kind of get an experience, especially in a public setting. But yeah, I think
yeah,
that
that's what I was thinking is
augmented
like
reality
clubs
would
and stuff,
definitely
right?
probably
It's
have
like
a hit.
just like there's so many
It's like I
different
Just
said,
places
like
that
imagine
you could use it.
Z Wave
You could be
tech could
wearing your
be integrated
NFTs
into
and wake
hats,
up just to
and just a
stand out
pair
that
of
much more
sunglasses
than
for
people
augmented
wearing
reality. You
just
could
an
be
augmented
styling.
reality
yeah, and that's what I was
headset.
thinking
And
is
I
like
think that
clubs and
will
stuff,
be
right?
the next
It's
big
not
thing technically.
just like there's so many different places that could use it. You could be wearing your NFTs in the club just to stand out that much more to people that are into augmented reality
Yeah.
or the next big thing, right? Because it will be
Be
the
wearing
next
your
big thing technically.
Nike NFTs. Be wearing your
Right?
who knows
You can find me in the
Yeezys or
club
whatever might
dressed
be in
as an
there. I don't
NFT.
even know how to say the name.
You can put
Yeah.
me in the club as an NFT, and it's gonna
Be
be
wearing your
crazy.
Nike NFTs. Be wearing your who knows
Well, I'm
Yeezys or
sure there's
Yeezys
gonna
or
be stuff
whatever might be
happening
in
because
there.
of it too,
I don't
right?
even know how to say their name.
Watch, guys. I swear to God, you guys are gonna start seeing me pushing out like a bunch of insurance policies relating to crypto.
Wow, that
Oh, I'm
it
sure
would be
there's going to be
smart if you
stuff
could
happening
create your
because of
own
it too. Yeah.
insurance policies for that then potentially.
Yeah, well, it's pure risk, right? At the end of the day, all of crypto is pure risk. That's all that's needed to be an insurable asset in the United States.
Well, and that it would be smart of you to create your own insurance policies for that then
Next
potentially.
meeting, sorry.
Definitely in the future, that'd be something that we'd want to do.
That's February.
Is that meeting
Oh,
tomorrow, the
I thought you
25th,
were talking
or is
about
it
the
the
meeting with
26th?
Heroes. I was gonna say February 2nd, but yeah, it's supposed to
Which
be this
meeting?
week.
Sorry.
I think
No
tomorrow.
one for no, actually it's in February. The regulation meeting.
February. Oh, I thought you were talking about the meeting with Heroes. I was going to say
No,
February
what
2nd, but
I
yeah, it's supposed to be this week. I think tomorrow.
I didn't hear any big changes in the market today. Did you hear anything about the inflation wafer?
From what I'm
I mean, as far as the inflation goes, they're beating records. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, like that's what's crazy, bro. Is like, seeing people's retirements and stuff that have been affected by this. Like, a lot of people are gonna have to go right back to work.
Yep. I seen a funny post today. What did it say? I wish I could remember, but it was talking about how most crypto influencers are gonna have to go back to wage to earn system. Like, and it's like, yeah, people are really just gonna have to go back out and start working again or start grinding again. But I mean, it's kind of like you were saying. This is all risk, right? So as long as people are not overexposing themselves, they should be fine. I don't think, we're not in a time and day where you put your whole life in crypto and that's it, right? Unless you just have a lot of life. But I think it's definitely, just like I said, it's a good time to be here, and it's an even better time to be learning.
I think the social pressures here are to a point where I think you're going to start seeing a lot of these older folks starting to gamble it because, at the end of the day, they won't have enough money to retire, so they're going to work forever anyway, right, in a lot of cases. And I think you're going to start seeing new money enter the crypto space since a lot of people have been making good money, So we'll see how that goes.
Transition of money goes a little bit higher in the cryptocurrency.
I'm expecting a lot of money to float into here really quickly if stocks continue to drop and crypto levels out, we might see that where transition of money goes a little bit higher into cryptocurrency as well.
Was one thing that brought me into cryptocurrency?
They're not going to let those precious stocks go away.
And stuff like that, and stocks. I just hated them because of the
makes me wonder what gold's trading at.
But now we're getting the same thing in crypto.
Do you know what was one thing that brought me into cryptocurrency was the idea of futures and stuff like that and stocks. Like, I just hated them because of the hedge funders and stuff like that. But now we're getting the same thing in cryptocurrency, so I don't know. We've always had it, I guess.
One of those paradoxes in crypto.
Yeah, it's the one that I hate. Like, I wish in some ways we would get away with it. If we didn't have future trading, shorting, and longing, could you imagine the price variance wouldn't probably be as bad as it is currently right now, I have a feeling.
I think they need that leverage on the market, though,
Speaking of paradoxes in crypto, I always think it's interesting when people talk about governance and, how to run a crypto and using DAOs. And then it always comes back to, how much of something somebody owns determines how much say they have. So you're back to having like a centralized power, or it's like a vote on a centralized group of people to make a decision. I always thought it was kind of a paradox, right? Like for how DAOs kind of operate and the idea of decentralization.
I'm apologize, you guys. I'm kind of out of it right now. I might need to go take a rest here soon. I feel bad.
It's all good, brother. We've been on for an hour now. I mean, if you need to go lay down, you can lay down. I'll probably float around for a little bit, before I head out. But yeah, I'll still be around.
All right, man. You be safe. Hopefully you're not getting sick or anything. Hopefully you're all good.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. There you go.
It's almost too late.
He should have did that last week.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, guys. Well, I'll go ahead and bounce out. I'll see you guys again coming up here, I'm sure.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
Have a good night, you guys. Bye for now.
Can you go upstairs?